Two of the coolest snakes that I've ever produced, genetically coolest, live about 2 miles away from my parents. And coincidentally, my good friend Spencer lives under that same roof. So I decided to go and visit Spencer and see how those two snakes are doing, because I haven't seen them since they were hatchlings, and they are incredible. I also wanted to see all of his other really cool snakes. Let's not forget the logo with that sort of slightly out of tune banjo chord. That's a G chord, by the way. A G sus4 if you want to be a nerd about it. So I was visiting my parents in Idaho recently, and wait a second, if I live with mom and she's in Idaho and you're in California, how do I... These are kind of like our time travel episodes where it's better if you just don't ask too many questions. Okay, great. So, we had a whole bunch of family there for the week, including 2 of my 3 sons, and hold on, why wasn't I there? Kent, because you weren't. You were doing something else. Don't ask too many questions. Yeah, you're overthinking it. Roger that. Jeez. So, Justin, Brandon, and I jumped in the car and went over to Spencer's. Spencer started breeding last year. I think last year was his first breeding season, and so he's new at it, but he was really intentional about how he put his breeding group of snakes together. So I wanted to ask him about that too. I want to mention that when I decided to start breeding snakes, it was really important to me that the snakes I produce are not going to get into the wrong hands. And what I mean by that is the hands of some kid who bought the snake on a whim and doesn't know how to take care of it, and it's probably going to end up in a rescue anyway. One of the things that helped was to have a strong social media presence so that I knew that my snakes were going to people who have seen my content, which means they probably care about the welfare of snakes and maybe know a little bit about them. More importantly, when I picked out the snakes that were going to be in my breeding group, I wanted to make sure that I was going to be producing snakes that were generally out of the dollar range of somebody who's buying a starter snake and treating it like a disposable pet. Now, I'm not talking about somebody who has a legit emergency and needs to responsibly rehome an animal. I'm talking about the kid who bought a snake and didn't ask their parents, or the person who walked into Petco and bought a snake because they've been depressed lately and they think this might help. Those are 2 pretty common scenarios. I wanted to be selling to people who are either established breeders or established pet keepers who at least know what they're doing and are dedicated to it. Those people are generally buying higher value snakes. I'm mentioning this because in my interview with Spencer, we talk about having higher dollar snakes that will produce higher dollar snakes. And I want to make sure that you know that it's not just because we're just in it for the money. This is definitely a hobby for almost everyone involved in breeding snakes, except for obviously the really big guys. But when you're producing animals that you love, you want them to go to the best homes. And one way to avoid selling to a high school kid with $50 burning a hole in his pocket is to produce higher end snakes, because you generally attract a more dedicated buyer that way. I hope that makes sense. I just wanted to clarify that. Here we go. Are we recording right now? All right, so Spencer, it's so good to be in your snake room.
Hey, welcome.
Thanks. We've been friends since long before either of us were into snakes. Mm-hmm. You happen to live 2 minutes away from my parents.
Oh,
so
perfect.
I'm up here visiting my folks. So I want to talk to you because you have some insane snakes, including 2 that came from me. My 2 craziest snakes that I produced, you bought.
I did.
As far as I know, there's only one of these in the world.
Yeah.
And you got him from me, and obviously I regret selling him, and I'm planning to somehow steal him today.
Perfect.
Look at this guy. He's just insane, and he's brightened out. His yellows and oranges
are just flying out.
Have come out. What is he? He's going to be a super asphalt, orange dream, probably extreme gene, spot nose. And pastel. Right. Wait, because the mom, hold on, not extreme gene. I had the wrong mom. Super asphalt, orange dream, pastel, spot nose, Inchy. Right.
He's such a good snake too. Both of your snakes are just great temperaments.
This is the planned girlfriend for...
Yeah, for the little boy that we just looked at.
Uh-huh.
So this is just gravel, asphalt. So all their babies are going to be super fun.
Really cool. That's a gravel asphalt.
Mm-hmm. So
what do you call that combo?
Pavement.
Oh, a pavement, right.
Mm-hmm.
I always forget the road names that they name that complex. So what I want to hear from you is kind of how you strategized when you decided, all right, I'm going all in on this.
Yeah.
What did you do? What are some of the things that you thought about?
Sure. So, you helped me out with my first snake. And after I got her and got used to her, she was a super pastel fire. Great snake, but you know, her babies aren't going to be worth as much as some other snakes.
Yeah.
And so
this lesser Mojave clown.
Yeah.
This is a visual clown, but blue-eyed Lucy, so you can't tell, but she is a clown.
But then I started thinking, you know, if I want to keep this a small operation where I don't have hundreds of snakes coming out of my ears throughout the year, to look for snakes that are going to keep their value and then that are going to produce really crazy babies. And
Right.
so finding a few projects. So we have a pied project, a clown project, and then a small ultramel project. And so
Okay.
3 recessive projects, and we'll stack them, we'll mix them, but trying to keep it right there and just get as many crazy genes in those 3 recessive projects as we can.
Right. And
Yeah.
you've done a good job, because say again what the genetics on her boyfriend is.
Yeah, so this boy is a confusion spot nose het clown. Confusion gene just really throws some crazy patterns, and then with spot nose it just doubles that up.
And his head looks clown to me.
Yeah.
Like he kind of has a clown head.
Yeah, I think when, especially in confusions, that het clown, sometimes in spot nose, can
Uh-huh.
come forward a little bit and you start to see little head stamps that look semi-clown.
Yeah.
I'm curious about how much she looks like Tiger Lily. She looks exactly like Tiger Lily. Hi, babes. And I wondered how she was going to color up and change. And really, this is pretty much exactly what Tiger Lily looked like at this size, I think.
Did she lighten up as she got bigger?
Yeah, she's lightened up a little bit, but you know, going off food for 4 months, she's not much bigger than this. You know,
Sure.
This is a year apart, exactly, and Tiger Lily's a little bit bigger than this.
Yeah.
You know, she's probably, well, that's not true. What would you say this one weighs? We don't have to weigh her, but
Yeah, I don't know. She's probably 6 something. She's about ready to move up to another tub. And
Yeah.
I'll put a hide in there with her just to make her feel a little bit more secure.
yeah, Tiger Lily's probably under 800 grams. She's like
Mhm.
700 probably, so maybe there's a 100-gram difference. But yeah, I think they have the same genetics. So Tiger Lily came out of my first clutch that hatched. Exactly a year later, Freya laid another clutch, and this snake popped out of that clutch, and it looks exactly like Tiger Lily. I think it's the same genetics. It's all the genes, I think, of Freya and Ron. The only thing I would say is that Tiger Lily might not have extreme gene, and this one might, because it might be a little bit brighter, and there's more. There's less pattern at the tail, I think, than Tiger Lily has, if I remember right. All right, so you were really strategic in. Well, you didn't get a normal and then a pastel and go,
Right.
well, let's see what happens if I produce these things.
Yeah, so last year was my first year breeding, and I did, I had 2 clutches last year, and I took a visual male clown and put him to 2 nice looking girls, nothing crazy. And so we made a lot of cool hets. You know, I was able to find those snakes awesome homes, and they're all beautiful animals. But you know, my dreams are a little bit bigger than that.
Yeah.
And so we moved on from those snakes and invested that money in some other snakes.
I'm gonna say, don't tell me. I'm gonna say inchy, leopard, pied, or maybe orange dream.
Okay.
Am I anywhere close?
Well, you got orange dream.
Really? Not even pied?
You got pied.
Oh, okay.
So he's pied, yellow belly, orange dream, pastel. Take a guess at the genes.
Well, I'm gonna say Mojave het pied. Am I completely wrong?
Yeah. One gene's similar to Mojave.
Well, I'm not showing that in the video. It's lesser, so lesser.
Nope.
Come on. What? Tell me.
So he's a chocolate special het clown.
Oh, I would have never said that. I'm gonna say that's banana. I'm gonna say het pied. Really?
And one more.
Oh, it's something else. Oh,
Don't look at the
I
genes.
won't.
He's
black,
just
black,
reading it.
black pastel.
Cinnamon. Yep.
Oh, cinnamon, great. You guys, I guessed a morph, almost, sort of. And I even guessed het pied, which was a wild guess. You got into this during the height of COVID when people buying snakes was nuts. Everybody was buying snakes.
Yep.
Now the market's crashing a little
Yep.
bit. Everybody's saying we're in a big recession. We're not really, but whatever. But the market has crashed a bit.
Yeah.
Are you concerned about that?
So I'm not concerned. You know, for me, I love doing this, and so it's super fun. And so whether I make a lot of money or a little bit of money, I still have the same amount of fun. And for me, when you make a high dollar snake and it's not going to go for the dollar amount that people want it to go for, it's still going to go for something.
Right.
And so you're still making money at that point.
Right.
It costs the same amount to produce a $50 snake as it does a $10,000 snake.
That's right.
And so, you know, if I can make somebody like me getting into the game happy and give them a snake that's a banger, like, we're going to do that. We're going to make it happen.
That's a really good outlook on it. Also, you know, obviously the market goes up and down,
Right.
and it's going to go back up. But
Right.
but I think a lot of people hang on when there's a downturn. They're like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I thought that this was going to be cool, and now I'm not going to make as much as I planned in my little books when I wrote it all down. You know,
Right.
You have a very manageable group of snakes, but for the most part, they're all bangers. Like you were really intentional.
Yeah, I have one girl we'll show you later. You know, I saw she's just a GHI het pied, but she's the prettiest GHI het pied I've ever seen. And so I saw her from Trademark, and I messaged him and was like, I gotta have the snake. So I have a few that are not crazy, but they're the most perfect expression of what they are.
But that's what I mean. That's like Freya. I've had a number of clutches from Freya. She's the best expression of calico that I've seen. She's almost no expression of Orange Dream, but her babies. I mean, that Orange Dream is from Freya.
Yeah.
She makes awesome Orange Dreams, which I didn't know. I bought her because her calico was so cool.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not. She wasn't a crazy snake. She's
Right.
not recessive at all. You know.
Right.
But yeah, you get the best expression of what you're looking for, and you know. All right, cool. Let's look at some other snakes.
Orange Dream pied het clown.
Beauty.
She's a sweetheart too.
Little clown. What do we got going on with this one?
Cinnamon Blade.
Cinnamon
Clown.
Blade Clown.
And
Nice.
she gave us 9 eggs. And her clutch is due to pip in a few weeks. Oh boy.
This is your first holdback.
First holdback.
Of how many babies have you had?
28.
28 babies. This is holdback number 1.
Yep. So I believe he's a 8-ball. So cinnamon, black pastel, sandblast, pied.
Wow.
He's got really dark blue eyes with red pupils.
Can you give me a tongue there, buddy? Thank you. Say the genetics again.
So she's a Orange Dream Fire Clown.
Nice. Yeah, that head stamp is crazy. Love it. Spot nose clown.
So this guy,
Why do I even guess? Just to say what it is.
we believe he is a Orange Dream Fire Mahogany Clown. So I believe I hit a lesser. Where am I? Am I turned around? No, I'm not turned around. So I think this is a lesser clown.
Okay.
I think this is just a pastel het clown. This is a lesser leopard het clown. This might be a pastel leopard het clown. This is a spot nose leopard pastel.
Look at that head stamp. It
I
looks like your
know.
Daddy Warbucks guy.
I know. I don't know where that's coming from because.
Well, it's the pastel and the
Is it pastel spot
and
nose?
the spot nose, yeah.
Yeah, she just has crazy patterns, and then this one has even crazier
That's
patterns,
cool.
like zebra striping
Yeah.
almost.
What are you calling that one?
I think it's the same as this, just all the genes, just not a visual clown.
Okay.
So, spot nose leopard, pastel, lesser. Oh no, no lesser in here. No lesser in here. But I think this one might be, and this one keeps hiding. I think this is the lesser leopard, spot nose, pastel. So, pastel lesser Batman.
Nice.
I think. I'll come in here some days and be like, no, that's not it.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard.
That's got to be it.
It's really fun to try to guess when they're still in the egg, but man, that's a tough.
Yeah, so they'll come out. You know, yesterday they poked their heads out and then they sunk back in, and so we'll give them a few more days.
Nice. What was your first ball python that you got?
So we got a super pastel fire little girl.
Okay. And then you decided to breed after that.
Yep.
So, did you breed her?
I did not.
So you decided to breed and started doing your research and went full in on snakes that you knew were desirable and whatever.
Yep. Yeah, she was a sweetheart, and I found another breeder in town that could work her into their projects. But for me, I wanted to start some recessive projects and get away from, pastel's a very common gene, and a lot of people love it and looks good with a lot of things, but it just wasn't for me. And so finding things that you like, and for me, those are things that, I would know that I would be able to sell.
Right.
And for me, that look attractive.
That was going to be my next question. Have you ever had trouble selling your snakes?
I have not. I might have to cut some deals here and there.
Right.
But no, it's been great. It's been a great experience. We've been at 4 shows, and last year I sold out of all my babies, and the first show we did this year, I sold out of all my snakes there.
Yeah.
And so I think, if you know how to talk to people, and you're excited about people owning snakes, and you're excited about the snakes that you have, I think selling snakes, can you say it's easy? I think it's easy.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is having a passion for it is one thing. But, I have, you also sell at shows,
Yep.
which you're getting face-to-face in front of people, you're good at that kind of stuff. But a lot of people just sell on Morph Market. And I've seen, I remember seeing a post a long time ago from a woman who was complaining, she was a post on Facebook or whatever, that she had put these snakes up on Morph Market and they weren't selling, and if nobody buys her snakes, she's getting out of breeding. And then somebody asked her what the pairing was. It was a normal to a Mojave. She's selling them for $50 or something. Nobody's buying. And what she didn't understand is that people aren't going on Morph Market to buy a $50 snake, right? She's not going to sell them on Morph Market. It's going to be really hard to sell. And I just last week saw a post from a guy who was like, he was so excited to breed, he's got a normal with a pastel, and he posted it up on one of the ball python things. Obviously got slammed by everybody. What are you breeding those for? Because he's going to get normals and he's going to get pastels, and he might sell them for $25 or he might not sell them at all. Regardless, there's a good chance they're going to end up in
Pet store?
Rescue is
Rescue.
the word. Rescue is the word. Because that's what you see in rescues, Yeah, you're not just doing it as an experiment and just producing snakes for the sake of producing snakes.
Right. They are living creatures. I don't want to experiment with them to a point where it's going to do more harm than good. Being able to take care of them and produce children of beautiful animals, it's super cool.
Yeah, it is super cool. Thanks for having us over.
Yeah, man. Thanks for the scotch and the snakes.
Thank you for the scotch.
Scotch and Snakes live is way better than live streams.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We had scotch, you guys.
We did.
You weren't in on that,
just a little bit.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. Thanks, brother.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate you. Let me know in the comments if you like this type of video. I'm doing a lot of traveling this summer, and I need to shoot some videos while I'm out of town, so I hope you're okay with the format change. If you're craving more of the green room, though, here's a video that was shot completely in the green room with all the snakes that you know and love. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.